Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday, aka April Fool's Day. I don't do all the April Fool's Day joke things, and I know it might seem like I'm no fun, but I'm a little more on the serious side if you have not noticed, if you've been watching me for a little while. So our sales have started to pick up. We are getting some days over 500, which is our goal that we were getting pretty frequently. So those days are coming back. I am really excited about that. eBay has picked up a little bit. Etsy is about the same. It might be a little bit slower. Poshmark is staying steady, and Mercari, as always, is pretty much non-existent. We did have a Depop sale as well. That one was actually over $50, so I'll show you that one on Friday. And I'm really excited to show you what is selling. And I know there's been a lot of talk. I know the economy is not the best. I know there is a lot going on in world events. I try not to bring politics or religion into my channel. I just don't think it really has a place in reselling. And I know it's affecting us, but I just don't want to get into those discussions. And that's just my personal choice to not get into those discussions. So I want to say, though, and I think this is really important, is that regardless of what is going on, people are still going to buy things. They might not buy as many things, but there are always going to be those with discretionary income who are still shopping and living their lives as usual. And I think the key with keeping your reselling steady and where it needs to be in difficult times is figuring out exactly what is selling. So I am going to show you bread and butter items between $20 and $50, and I am going to offer a really, really good surprise for you guys, and it is $100 value. You're going to actually see that real quick. I'm not going to make you wait on that. And at the end of the video, I have probably the most exciting announcement I have had to make in over 3 years. So hang around till the end of the video if you want to hear my exciting announcement. We are going to start off here on my list perfectly tab, and this is my sales and analytics overview. My whatnot for some reason didn't pull in, so that is actually 1,500. I've actually only done 2 shows over the last week. I was kind of burnt out a little bit, and I know myself, and I knew I needed to take a break. And I think that all of us should hopefully be able to realize when we're at that point, and we need to do what we need to do for our mental and physical health. And for me, I needed to take a break from whatnot, which is what I did. So we have $1,500 there as well. So we are at $6,000 for the week throughout all the platforms. So eBay is back like I am used to seeing it. It is close to 80% of sales at 3,600. My goal is 5,000 for that. So we're still low. Poshmark's doing decent at 480, which is 10% of sales. Etsy is, again, Etsy's fallen down a little bit. It's at 415, which is 9%. You can see the Depop at 2%, which that's actually only one sale, so not too shabby for one sale. Look at poor little Mercari here, less than 1% of sales. So my surprise that I want to tell you about is a free month of List Perfectly. If you have never used their software, I will pop a QR code up for you on the screen, and that will allow you to try any level of List Perfectly. I recommend doing the Pro or Pro Plus. That is what I do. That has the auto delister. You can use the AI Express lister, which is what we use to make our listings. You can also cross post. Of course, it's a cross posting software, but honestly, for me, the value comes from other things like the sales and analytics tab, being able to see what money's coming from where, as well as being able to create my listings very easily from photos. So use that QR code, or you can put in the discount code FREELP52, and that will get you a free month. You do not have to pay anything. You will get that to try it out and use it, and I feel like you will see it is worth the money. So with that, we are going to go ahead. We're going to start off over on Mercari, then Etsy, then Poshmark, and then we'll finish up with eBay to show you some of the sales that made up this 4,600 for the week. first up on Mercari, and this is the only sale on Mercari for our lovely 0.34%. This is a Zaful women's rust orange bikini, size 6. It is new, and this one I got at the thrift store for $1. So it is going to be about a $12 profit after the fees. And we are coming up where we're in spring now. Summer is coming. People are still going to go swimming, I assure you. So they will be buying bathing suits. So if you have bathing suits or board shorts or swim trunks, cover-ups, beach towels, things like that, I would get those listed now. Now we are moving over to Etsy. This is a vintage green adventurine. It's just a chip beaded necklace. There's not anything special about it. It's just a vintage barrel clasp. This one sold for $33.99. I picked it up for only a couple of dollars. So this one's about a $25 to $26 profit, and it sold fast. And I kind of go back and forth on the chip necklaces, whether I list them on the platforms or put them on Whatnot. I just ran a bunch on Whatnot, and I obviously don't get $33 out of them there. A lot of times I can get 10 though. So, and it's a faster turnaround. This one took just a couple of months, so not overly long, but the adventurine and jadeite tends to do pretty well. Here you can see that barrel clasp. It is not even sterling silver. And with this one and a couple of others that you're going to see over on Etsy, and look, this is a heavy, chunky necklace, almost 96 grams. With these few that I'm showing you, they're in the $30 range. So I have started putting some lower items over on Etsy. I've kind of lowered my threshold to where if they're vintage and they fit Etsy's parameters, I'm listing $30 and higher now, where I was just listing $50. This is the cutest little teepee ever, and it sold for $29.74. I put vintage Native American miniature 2.5-inch decorative teepee. If you do not know, that graphic you're seeing there with the Native American on the horse, that is called End of the Trail. And it's a pretty popular design. It's kind of all over a lot of things. So if you get something with that design, I would use End of Trail in your title and description. This is tiny, 2.5 inches. I got it in an online Southwest lot, and I only paid a couple of dollars for it, if that, and sold for $29.74. So it's about a $22 profit. This one took about 4 to 5 months, so it was a little bit longer. And on Etsy, their insertion fees are 20 cents per 4 months. So like on this one, in addition to my fees, I had a 40-cent fee. That's why I was really trying to do $50 and higher, but hopefully I'm sourcing better. So the $30 items I'm posting will sell before that 4-month point where they roll over. Next is this cute little vintage Acoma Pueblo pottery bunny rabbit. I love Acoma pottery. Their seed pots, even if they're only 2 inches, tend to sell for big money. So definitely remember Acoma. I have a few figurines left. It looks like most of the ones I have are owls. I had to look over. I display them on my desk. So this one sold for $25. I did pay about $5 for it. So it is a $16 profit. Took about 4 to 5 months. So another one I think rolled over on Etsy. Here you can see it is signed as Chino, and I did put that in my title, which means it was one that I saw sales from that artist. So for me, I don't put the artist's name in my title unless I'm finding sold items by that artist, which makes me think that people are searching for that artist specifically. If I don't find that, then I will use that space to put better keywords. Last on Etsy is this Lenox crystal glass lighthouse at Crystal Point. This was 7 inches. It sold for $29.74. Sold in only about 2 months, so pretty fast. I paid $5 for this one. So it is about a $21 profit. This one, I actually lost a little bit on shipping because I thought it would only be 2 pounds. It was 3. I get my weights right, I would say about 90% of the time, as long as I've been doing this. I'm pretty good at eyeballing stuff. And I think it's better that I just eyeball it rather than having my employee weigh every single one. If I'm just off on 10%, I'm okay with just paying that overage. Moving over to Poshmark, the first sale was this bundle, and I got Nike Dry Fit golf shorts as well as a Columbia fishing shirt. And you can see my prices were 30 and 26 on them. So I was at 56. They offered me $40. My payout was 32, but both of these were ones I picked up for $1 each at the thrift store. So it's actually a $30 profit. I have done pretty well with Nike Dry Fit shorts and also Columbia fishing shirts, but the Columbia fishing shirts, I was not picking them up unless they were size 2XL or bigger, or if I found two. So if I found two medium, two large, those I would buy and I would bundle them up. But I actually have not been thrifting for several months now. So items like these are ones that are no longer getting added to my store unless I already have them in my desk pile. This beautiful amethyst ring was a size 7, and this one sold in just a couple of months. Payout was $25.60. I paid $5 for this in an online auction, so it is a $20 profit. And I don't do a ton of rings unless I come across ones that are really spectacular, and that's because I typically have to pay between $5 and $10 per ring, and a lot of times it's hard to get that $30 point with some of the rings. So what happens is when you buy the online lots, you might get 3 really good ones and 7 that kind of suck. And selling lots of rings is not something that I have seen be overly successful. So I am pretty choosy when it comes to buying ring lots on online auctions. Here is another little Acoma pottery piece. This one is a miniature black cat sleeping. I did put fox because it kind of looked like it could maybe be a fox too. And it sold for 20. The payout was 15 on this. I paid 5. So this one's actually only a $10 profit, but it was in a lot with a bunch of other Acoma pottery that is priced a little bit higher. So really, really pretty piece. It is tiny. You can see here it's only an inch tall. It was only a couple of inches wide, but really, really neat Acoma pottery piece. And I absolutely love Native American pottery as well as other collectibles. Damascene brooches like this one or something I think are really undervalued. I always get them. I think they're going to be a ton of money and they never are, but I think they're so cool. They are all made in Spain. So this one's a tropical angelfish brooch. I did put intricate gemstone design. Payout was 16 on this. I paid $3 for it in an online estate auction. So it's a $13 profit. And I just absolutely love Damascene. The last couple of pieces I got, though, because I know they sell around this $20 point, I actually have pulled and sold them over on Whatnot, and I tend to get between $5 and $10 for them there. So it's about half of what I get here, but I sell them and move them very, very fast. We are going to take a look here at the sales chart for eBay before we look at the sales. I actually don't have very many. I think I have 13 that I'm going to show you. We actually had a lot of high dollar sales on eBay this week. So those I will show you on Friday. And I just saw my 90-day drop below 40,000, which I really hate seeing. So today we are at 253.50. Monday was 350. Sunday was one of those days over 500. So again, I'm happy to start seeing those days. We did 564 Sunday. Saturday was 335. Friday was a good day. We did 792. We did 569 on Thursday. So there's another one. And then we almost did 500 a week ago. On Wednesday, we did 477. So for the month, we're almost at 11,000. I want that at 20,000. And then our 90-day, oh, I hate to see that. I really want that above 50,000. So we'll go ahead and take a look at, again, I think it's 13 sales that are between $20 and $50 that make up the 3,300 we are at for the last week. First up is one that I had for a while. This is a North End jacket, Golf windbreaker. It was brand new with the tags. I accepted a best offer of $33 on this one. And I actually got it at the thrift store for $5. It was a boutique item. So this one's about a $22 profit. And I'll show you how I knew I got it from the boutique section. They mark it in red marker at my thrift store. And again, I am not thrifting anymore, at least not at this time, because I mostly found clothes and they're not my exact favorite to sell. So I'd rather find stuff on online auctions. So here you can see it's new with the tags. And it was a really, really nice golf jacket. I just think that North End is not a very well-known brand, and that is why this one took so long to sell. This gorgeous pendant took about 8 months to sell. I did send them a 30% off offer, which was $42. I paid about $7 for this one. So it is going to be close to a $30 profit after the fees. And you can see the front picture actually isn't in the greatest of focus. And I have said it, I'll keep saying it. That is something I'm really trying hard to pay attention to. And if I notice that jewelry is out of focus, I am having my employee redo them, because I think with the jewelry pieces, it's pretty important. And I feel this one probably would have sold a little faster if we had a little bit better pictures. These vintage Stangl bowls I've had for years, but they were just recently put back up because I was doing inventory of my display shelf and I realized that they were not listed anymore. So they sold within a few months of listing them. And these I got at a thrift store. I bought a big lot of Stangl dishes, like they sold the whole set. And I am probably about $5 into these. So I accepted a best offer of $21.99 on these. So they're actually less than a $10 profit. So these are something I would not pick up again. I used to get a lot of dish sets and then separate them like this into fours, which is something you can do if you're okay with the lower price point. I just, for me, like for 4 bowls now, I would want them to be at $40 or higher in value. These Sango are a little bit different. I would pick these up again because they're just beautiful and I love Bird of Paradise. So there's always going to be exceptions to the rules. So these took a year to sell, but they did sell for $40. I did pick these up at the thrift store. I paid $4 for them. So they are a $28 profit, but they took a year. So a little bit longer. However, I am a big plant lover and I just think this Bird of Paradise print is so beautiful. And for me, I want to love at least half of the things I'm selling. So I will continue picking up things I love, even if they don't necessarily meet the rules that I've kind of set forth for myself. This shirt took over a year to sell, but it sold for full price. And if I was thrifting, I would still pick this up. And that's because I absolutely love Key West. This one is the conch grill and raw bar. And the graphics on this are great with the flight attendant and pinup girl. I'm honestly surprised that it took a year to sell, but sometimes you never know. So sold for $24.99, picked it up for $1. This one is going to be about a $19 profit. And if I go thrifting, these are the type of shirts I love to find, the conch grill and raw bar. I get a lot, or I did when I was thrifting, I got a lot of souvenir shirts. I've done well with them, but I've heard other resellers say that they do not do as well. This pretty little cameo brooch sold for $21. It took 6 months for it to sell. It sold for a best offer $21. I paid about $3. This one was in a costume lot, so it's about a $14 profit. And a lot of the cameos I have been letting go to Whatnot as well. And I've kind of changed my mindset. I used to want to list everything, but with doing live sales, I move the inventory, I get my money back immediately. Even if I'm only making, $2 or $3 per piece, that is $2 or $3 that I didn't have before. Another 6 months for this one to sell. This is a Pandora sterling silver bangle bracelet, ocean blue Murano glass, charm size 6.5. Sold for a best offer of $40. I did pay $10 for this, so I did pay up for it. So it is going to be a $24 profit in that 6-month period. And Pandora, for me, is kind of hit or miss. I have some that sell really fast and some that don't. Here you can see it on the bracelet sizer, and we are actually making those with our 3D printer now. So if you are interested in a bracelet sizer like this one, you can comment or send me an email to the nurseflipper@yahoo.com, and I actually can custom make them for you in whatever color you want. I am doing solid colors. So like black, white, pink, blue, whatever color you want, I can make it for you. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. I also, and actually I think after this one, I will post up a little video. I had somebody design bubble wrap mounts to hold bubble wrap rolls, and it has worked out absolutely amazing for us. So I am going to show you a quick video of those, and those I am also offering for sale if you guys are interested. And as light as bubble wrap is, I screwed mine in, but I honestly think if you got like the double-sided Rubbermaid tape, that you could put these up on the wall with just the Rubbermaid tape and it would still hold those bubble wrap rolls. All right, so we've been wanting to hang our bubble wrap up forever. So I actually had somebody design this, and it's just 2 screws into the wall. You can see there. And you just add a 1-inch dowel, and it's kind of cool. I accidentally ordered 24-inch wide bubble wrap, and this still holds it perfectly fine. There is the other brace, and then we've got the big bubble wrap on the end. So this could actually hold 3 rolls of bubble wrap. I got a 4-foot dowel. And so, yeah, so I had someone design it. I'm printing these. If you are interested, I'm selling them for $25 a set. You will need to buy your own dowel. You can just email me, the nurseflipper@yahoo.com. I do have the little octopus on it, but you can decide any color that you want. And bubble wrap's actually so light, I think you could attach these to the wall with like the Rubbermaid tape strips as well. All right, my friends, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed and maybe learn some new stuff or some new brands and names to keep an eye out for that are still selling right now. My really, really special announcement that I said I haven't had one this big in over 3 years is that we are doing another Nurse Flipper get together. And this one is going to be a retreat. It is like the one I did 3 years ago. I actually did 2 of them 3 years ago. And it is going to be in a big mansion in Orlando. There are 16 rooms. This one's pretty cool because it's set up for a retreat. And so each room has their own like a mini kitchen. They all have their own individual keys. And it is absolutely amazing. So this time we are actually doing a full week. We are doing Monday through Friday instead of just 3 days like last time. Now, we are going to be offering transportation to and from the airport and a bunch of other really neat things. I will have it posted up online. I will put a link to where you can sign up for the retreat. And I will put that down in the comments and in the description as well. I also will be talking about this as it goes forward. I will tell you the one 3 years ago sold out in just a few weeks. It sold out very, very fast, and we had to obtain a second house. This time we already have a second house that is actually pretty big too. It's a 7-bedroom with its own pool and barbecue grill, and you are welcome to bring your spouse. You are welcome to bring your kids. It is going to be during summer. It is going to be July 20th to 24th, which is actually Dalton's birthday. Dalton's birthday is July 23rd. He's okay with it. We are going to give him a party if he wants one. He said he's not sure, either the weekend before or the weekend after. And we will celebrate definitely while we are at the retreat house. So if you want more information on that, I will put a link in the comments for you. And I hope that I can meet you guys. I'm going to post a link to the video where we went live from the last one in Orlando. It was absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of lifelong friends were made. I met some amazing people. I still talk to quite a few of them. I know some of you are still watching. So hopefully I can see some of you guys again. And it's going to be fun. I will talk about it in the weeks upcoming. And I really hope to get to meet you in July.